day. So what are you waiting for? Don't miss the Credit Clinic today and tomorrow at Greenway Kia of West Palm Beach. Call 800-NEW-KIAs or go online at greenwaykiawestpalmbeach.com.
We want to see you in a Greenway Kia.
Credit affects down payment and approval term.
Want to accelerate your career as a manager or executive in the exciting industry of sports? Florida Atlantic University's MBA in Sport Management program is ranked #1 in Florida and 10th in the world. Students learn practical and applied skills from top faculty and experts who work in the industry. With a 94% placement rate for all grads, the full-time MBA program sets students up for success in the world of sports. Check out Florida Atlantic University's MBA in Sport Management program today by going to business.fau.edu.
ESPN West Palm is highlighting the best performance of the week, presented by Baptist Health Orthopedic Care. Every week, a different team will be featured across ESPN 106.3 and ESPN West Palm Play. The winning performance receives $500, courtesy of Baptist Health Orthopedic Care. Do you know a team, player, or school with a killer performance? Nominate them by emailing highschool@espnwestpalm.com. Baptist Health Orthopedic Care. Go where the pros go.
Good Greek moving and storage. Your superhero movers. Anna Jar and Levine.
Call 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733.
ESPN 106.3.
WUUB Jupiter, a Good Karma Brands radio station.
What a morning for Nuke. Imagine going to sleep a part of a one-win team, catching balls from Will Levis and Mason Rudolph, and then waking up. You're undefeated on the back-to-back Super Bowl champs, and you're linked up with the greatest quarterback of all time, Patrick Mahomes. DeAndre Hopkins, the luckiest man in the world.
Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios.
The man your man could smell it.
Theo Dorsey is theoretically speaking.
But are you a different animal and the same beast?
Streaming live on YouTube.
You're gonna break up with me because of what I do on the radio?
Here's Theo Dorsey.
Good people. Especially those in both Nashville and Kansas City that made the deal happen. We actually have developing news on that deal, developing details. We'll get to that. Of course, today we have Evan Cohen from Unsportsmanlike pulling up in about 30. We got a former NBA player joining us to talk about Bronny and LeBron James making history, as well as to talk about the tip-off of the NBA season. It's your boy Theo Dorsey. On the other side of the glass, on the ones and twos, it is C-Cat, who is hopefully soon to be a fan of the World Series champion New York Yankees. We're 2 days away from your Yankees starting the Fall Classic against the Dodgers on the road.
You never told me you were rooting for the Yankees.
I'm rooting for you.
Thank you.
I'm rooting for you.
Dude, the emotions are hitting me day by day. I talked to people when I walked into work yesterday. I watched a Yankee hype-up video for 8 minutes on my drive in, and I cried. I actually teared up and I cried.
Stop crying over the Yankees simply making it to the World Series. You're better than that. They're bigger than that. And it has, simply making that shouldn't be enough to make you cry.
You just don't understand it unless you've been there, Theo. You just don't understand
I'm an Astros
it.
fan, so.
Yeah. But are you? If you didn't cry at any moment during the Astros runs, you're not really an Astros fan.
I think I teared up a little bit actually, no. Absolutely not. You know when I did cry? When everybody started discrediting the Astros as World Series titles because they just were having a little fun. Who hasn't had some fun and banged on a trash can or two to make some music? That's all they were doing. Today is special in sports because of what happened last night. But before we get to the Bronny and LeBron moment that happened and that win over the Timberwolves, which, by the way, we got to find a way to get Rudy Gobert off of the same court as Anthony Edwards. I don't want to get on that mountain already, but, God, he just makes them so unwatchable. We do have to start with the big trade, the blockbuster trade, as the arms race continues in the AFC.
Breaking news on ESPN 106.3 is brought to you by St. Lucie Battery and Tire. If your vehicle has issues with braking or other issues, get it fixed right now at St. Lucie Battery and Tire.
Here are the full details on the DeAndre Hopkins trade to the Kansas City Chiefs. The Chiefs get Hopkins, of course. And according to Ian Rappaport of NFL Network, the Titans are going to get a fifth-round pick that elevates to a fourth-rounder if Kansas City makes the Super Bowl and Hopkins plays 60% of the snaps. So if the Chiefs make the Super Bowl and Hopkins plays 60% of the snaps, that elevates to a fourth rounder, while Tennessee's going to eat $2.5 million of the salary. So that means that the Chiefs were able to do two things. They were able to add to a receiver room, which was depleted by injuries because you lose Hollywood Brown for the foreseeable future. You lose Rashee Rice for the entire season. And they were all able to do so with very low draft compensation and not having to take on the full salary for DeAndre Hopkins. It raises two questions for me as a Chiefs fan. Number one, I knew this was going to happen. I've been saying it for weeks. In fact, last week, C-Cat, when we had a show and we said, following the Devontae Adams trade to the Jets and the Bills going out and getting Amari Cooper, we said, who's the next contending team that's one trade away from securing the Lombardi Trophy? Well, let's maybe just jump into the dream machine, the time machine, go back in time and see what I said there. The Kansas City Chiefs have to give whatever it's going to take to go down there to Nashville, knock on that door. Maybe you bring your boombox, play a little country music, play to the crowd there at Tennessee, and say, we need DeAndre Hopkins in a Chiefs uniform this year.
You're looking for a number one. You think DeAndre Hopkins still has it in him?
Yes. DeAndre Hopkins has it in him, and the reason why we haven't seen it out of him has more so been about quarterback play. And now Nuke, in year 32, his age 32, his knees probably 47 years old at this point, though, does get the good quarterback play he has coveted. He hasn't had it since Deshaun Watson in Houston, and now he gets it with 15 in the Chiefs on a Super Bowl contender. To me, this definitely seals the deal. The Chiefs will repeat for the second time, which would be a three-peat. They will win the Super Bowl. Mahomes has a outside big body target that can win at the catch point, that can be a red zone threat, and also it will take the double teams away from Travis Kelce. You did it, Brett Veach. You did it. You absolutely did it. It is weird to celebrate a championship this early in the season, even before the World Series title's been given out. But hey, that's what happens when you're seeing a team like the Chiefs do it for a third straight year. 2 years ago, you trade for Kadarius Toney, championship. Last year, you trade for Mecole Hardman, literally game-winning touchdown for him. Can't wait to see what Nuke does in the Chiefs uniform. As a Ravens fan, C-Cat, are you trembling a little bit? Are you a little nervous?
Not at all. He's going to get locked up against Baltimore. I am not scared whatsoever of D-Hop.
Absolutely. I don't get it. There are two reasons to not be fearful if you are anti-Chiefs, the dynasty that's happening here. Number one, what is left in Hopkins' body? He's 32 years old. He has his third knee injury in the past 4 seasons that has either held him out of games or just made his play feel relegated. And this one is an MCL sprain, or tear actually, that he's recovering from. So therein lies a question at that age. How does that affect his route running? How will that affect his ability to still be holding up come the end of the season for the Chiefs? So I would caution to say, hey, maybe you put him on ice for a little bit, let that thing heal all the way up, as the Chiefs are undefeated and don't need to risk losing yet another receiver this season. The other question is fit. The other question is, like, at 32, can he still win on the outside? Is he still a guy that threatens defenses to the level that you would want if you're Andy Reid, if you're Patrick Mahomes and that offense? But here's a guy that knows a thing or two about the Chiefs offense and fit. Chase Daniel, who's now a member of sports media, I believe with like Fox Sports 1, right? I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I see him next to like Shady McCoy. Here he is talking about the trade and kind of raining on the Chiefs championship parade.
His route tree's limited. It's a hitch, it's a slant, it's a 50-50 go ball. And it's just not the same D-Hop that I saw even a few years ago. What I have seen the Titans do, and what I implore Andy Reid to do, is put this guy in the slot. I think he can be a difference maker in the slot. You got Xavier Ware the outside taking the top off. You got Travis Kelce in the slot making linebackers miss. But when you put DeAndre Hopkins in the slot, it looks different. He's matched up with nickels. He's matched up with linebackers. He's matched up with safeties. That is when you can get him open in zone coverage. And I think that's where the Andy Reid-led Chiefs need to put him for the remainder of the year. I do think it helps, but I don't think it moves the needle as much as people think.
That's what
I tend to agree with that. This isn't the blockbuster that people are making it out to be. This isn't Devontae Adams. It's not Amari Cooper. He hasn't necessarily been at that level for some time. But also, this is a different type of receiver than Mahomes has had in his career in Kansas City. And I do think with the offensive minds there and probably with the chip on the shoulder that Hopkins has to go out and actually win a Super Bowl, because remember, people were rumoring the Chiefs to get Cooper Kupp. He already has a ring. Hopkins doesn't. I do believe this is going to work out for the Chiefs. I do see this being a successful deal that does turn into another championship. The Los Angeles Lakers have no prospects on winning an NBA title this year. They don't. That's not literally their goal as JJ Redick is in his debut year as a head coach, which, by the way, he looked excellent. He schemed stuff up well. I thought it was a little corny when he tried to joke about, he tried to have that little media moment afterwards talking about how, man, the balls aren't broken in enough. I'm JJ Redick. I have so much insight and analytical brain, and, we need to petition the NBA to let us play with balls that are more broken in. I'm like, all right, dude, we get it. You used to play ball a couple of years ago, and you're really smart. Did you see that, by the way?
I did not.
Because he felt like it took them a while to start making shots or creating the kind of offense they had.
It was a joke.
No, he was serious, though.
Really?
He was serious. We'll dig up the audio maybe and play it later, and I'll ask because we are bringing in a former NBA vet who played a few years in the league, played overseas, and is a Atlantic 10 legend. We're bringing in Gary Forbes in a little bit to talk NBA tip-off and whatnot. We'll see what he thinks of that. If that is somewhat of an issue in a basketball game, you don't want to play with a brand new ball. But to me, one game in, him already criticizing the league, like, dude, pump the brakes. But the Lakers win 110-103. The real headline of the day is the history that was made on the court between LeBron James and Bronny. C-Cat, I was pounding the drum. Ever since LeBron said he wanted to play in the NBA with his son on his team, I've been saying not only is this the right move, a franchise needs to make it happen, and LeBron has done everything in his career, on and off the court, to deserve a franchise to let him do a move like this. Draft my son and play us in the same game together. I'm all for Bronny and LeBron in the NBA. Which side of the fence have you stood on this whole time, leading into tonight?
Yeah, leading into last night, I was kind of on the fence. On media day, when I saw LeBron as happy as hell, when he saw his son in the uniform, kind of giving him a noogie and giving him some crap about it. It was a cool father-son moment, no doubt about that. But now that I see it in front of me and the regular season has begun, I am already sick and tired of it.
Well, let's get to that then. Let's get to that because last night then happens. And we knew it would happen. They alluded to it. Ken Griffey, Sr. and Jr. were both at Crypto.com Center, whatever they want, the Staples Center. They were at the Lakers Arena. Both Ken Griffey and the Pops was at Lakers Arena to watch LeBron and Bronny make history. And here was the conversation that LeBron had with his son on the bench, courtesy of TNT, before they checked into the game.
All ready? All right. You see the intensity, right? Just play carefree, though. Don't worry about mistakes. Just go out and play hard.
That do anything for you?
No, not at all.
Yeah.
He could have been talking to anybody else on the team. No.
Now, it's better with video because you are literally watching a father-son moment play out, but just listening to it for sure. He didn't say anything insightful. He just is being comforting to his son as he's about to make his NBA debut. And then here it was. They join in, and 4 minutes left in the second quarter. LeBron and Bronny check in at the same time. And what proceeds to happen for the next 2.5, 3 minutes, because that was all Bronny played, he then checked out before the Lakers ran away with this thing, is absolutely nothing. Absolutely nothing. Somewhere in there was a LeBron dunk, which was fun and thrilling, but we've seen that a bunch of times. It also didn't come on an assist from Bronny James. And then also, Bronny had not one but two chances to make his first NBA bucket, which would have sent that crowd into a roar. And it also would have been the moment that we would be replaying over and over again for the next week, because it would have been monumental that Bronny was able to capitalize when the moment was that bright, when it was that big, with all eyes on him. And we don't know when the next time he'll actually suit up in a Lakers uniform is. It's likely he'll be in the G League. So he had this one chance. It was on the right wing. On the right wing, he had a pull-up three-pointer. I believe it was off of a LeBron pass. So we would have had a LeBron, who's the all-time leading scorer in the league. I believe he's going to be the all-time leading assister soon if he hasn't already got there, passing it to his son, Bronny, and the three-pointer was right there. And as he rose up for the shot, I'm like, here it is. This is the moment. I was excited. All of the hype and the build-up that we had been talking about from the summer, really since last year, it was all culminating in this one shot from Bronny. He hits this shot, he don't got to do nothing else right for the rest of the year. Really, the next couple of years, the deal is done. He's done his part in knocking down a jumper and creating this moment for fans to live on. And Bronny went short off the rim. It reminded me of the Jimmy Butler shot. Eastern Conference Finals, Game 7 against the Celtics that would have got the Heat to the finals, but instead it was short, and it was deflating because I was that anticipatory of it. I was, no. He missed the moment.
The reason why the moment wasn't that good was because Bronny Jr. wasn't good enough to make that shot.
He sold.
And that kind of is the entire encapsulating problem with the situation.
He's good enough to make the shot, though, is the problem. If he wasn't, he can shoot. He can make that shot. He can make that shot in his sleep. He can make it in practice. He missed it, though. And that's why, to me, the LeBron and Bronny debut, as much as I anticipated it, as much as I would have loved for it to be great, it was anticlimactic.
But that's the whole microcosm of the situation, where this is not a father-son achievement in any sense of the word. This is a father achievement. This is not Ken Griffey Sr. and Ken Griffey Jr. in any sense of the word. I'm actually disappointed in that duo for going to this game.
You're mad at the Griffeys?
They must have gotten paid a talent fee or something.
Well, they were on behalf of Nike. I think they wanted to be there, though.
It's lame as hell because Ken Griffey Jr. deserved it, earned it, and became one of the greater hitters that you've ever seen. Bronny James Jr. just happened to be the spawn of the greatest basketball player this era has seen.
Here's where I'll push back on that. I'm not saying Bronny would have made it to the NBA on his talent alone, but Bronny didn't have to pick up a basketball. He didn't have to practice all of the hours of the day that he has. He didn't have to train the way that he's done with his body. And he also didn't have to put that kind of pressure on himself, knowing that his life was made for him. We see so many kids of either celebrities or business owners or famous basketball and football players who rest on their laurels and don't live up to the hype. We've also seen literally kids who are good enough at basketball to maybe play in college but never had any kind of prospects on the pros. Bronny's good enough to put on an NBA uniform. He is. He literally is.
I don't think so.
He had a stop on Anthony Edwards. It was pretty
nice. Good. Way to go. I'm going to frame that picture right there.
Why is there so much pushback? He's like the 14th or 15th guy on the roster. He'll be in the G League for probably the rest of the year, and he'll have his shot again to get back on the court when he's ready. But I don't understand all the pushback.
Special treatment.
What special treatment?
What is it, 4 years guaranteed?
Yeah.
Maybe hear someone who's a borderline, not draftable guy get something like that? I don't think so.
You know what? He has promise. And you want to know why he has promise? He has the best mentor you could possibly have, and that is the best basketball player left on this planet that is actively playing with the amount of knowledge, genius, and also the genes that LeBron has. I'm betting on the genes at that point.
Hey, you're a proponent for this. Just because you might be the greatest of all time at doing something does not mean that you were the greatest at coaching it, at advising it. An example, Michael Jordan, not really doing great things with the organization that he is running, and you know he knows how to play the game better than anybody else.
Has a good restaurant, though.
So I don't understand how you can stand idly by and not call this for what it is, a photo shoot. It's a power move.
It is.
And it's a LeBron James accomplishment for playing this long. That's the only thing it is. It's, wow, he's old. So old that his son is on the same team as him. That's the only accomplishment there is.
That's why I'm mad at Bronny, because he should have hit the shot. If he hits that shot, we're not saying this right now, but he opened the door for it because he went 0 for 2 in his 3 minutes, and he didn't seal the deal. He's never going to get that moment back. I know he regrets the moment it left his fingers. He probably knew it was off, and I know he regrets it because he could have shut people like you up if he just drained the damn thing.
Probably wouldn't shut me up.
Why not?
I'll find another thing to poke and prod at.
So I don't understand. So here's the thing, too, with Bronny being on the Lakers, too. It's like they won the game. It makes LeBron happy. It improves his mood. He's so fixated on being a good father, and which is a good thing. He's so fixated on the family unit and being there for his kids that it is a positive for the Lakers organization and that team's chemistry and his own personal gain on the court to have his son in the locker room with.
It's a circus act. They should take this act to the big three. Be like, oh my gosh, the father-son duo on this 3-man basketball team that Ice Cube owns. That would be cool. I would sign up for that, but not in where the adults play in the NBA. No, we've got guys who have trained their entire life, have had a lot more adversity than LeBron James Jr. has had to get to where they are.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure a lot of them almost lost their life to a heart condition at 19.
Low blow.
Just saying. I mean, that's real adversity. Life on the line, and here's C-Cat jumping on his soapbox saying, get your ass out of my league. Get out of the association. There's other people working harder than you.
Yeah, I think so. I think just because of your last name, it's why you're getting in on an NBA team, the dream for everybody who ever picks up a basketball. That's kind of cheap. It's weak.
Hey, it is what it is, because at the end of the day, and that's the only thing I don't understand too, is why are there people like you and others that are out there that are more demonstrative about it, that seem actually offended at the fact that one of the greatest players, one of the best arbiters for the game, one of the best ambassadors for basketball and the NBA got a little bit of special treatment. I mean, we got Giannis out here with Thanasis on the court and in the locker room and whatnot because it makes him feel better. That's his brother, and he stinks. Bronny's better than Thanasis. He's bad at basketball, great at podcasting.
I would like to watch that one-on-one now. It's like
Bronny would cook Thanasis.
Who's the real Nepo baby? Even though it's brother and father and son.
Bronny would absolutely cook Thanasis.
Who deserves their
one-on-one
roster spot less?
Yeah.
Head-to-head on TNT, the match.
You know what? That would do numbers.
Exactly. LeBron
that would do
and
numbers.
Giannis on the sidelines coaching up their kin.
Yes. Thanasis wouldn't even be able to dribble the ball 3 times with Bronny playing on-ball defense on him.
I don't know. Underneath the hoop, how tall is Thanasis? I've actually never watched him play.
So he's like 6'8", 6'9". He's up there. He's up there. He's big, but he's a little uncoordinated. He's unable to dribble the ball probably 4 times consecutively without it going off his foot. And I've seen his touch. It is, dare I say, it rivals Rudy Gobert with how bad of touch he has around the rim. So I'm not, and again, nothing against Thanasis. Our teammate at Good Karma Brands runs a great podcast.
Nothing
you all should
against him.
subscribe.
Nothing against him.
Thanalysis. Amazing podcaster. By the way, he's out for the season. He somehow, I think, he got injured somehow. I don't know when or where or how, but it was reported he is out for the season. He will not play for the Bucks this year. Maybe it's good for the Bucks to have him sidelined and good for his podcasting career and for us to have our teammate back behind the mic. So, yes, Thanasis, amazing podcaster, would not be able to beat Bronny James one-on-one. Stop hating on the young buck. 888-760-3776. 888-760-3776. LeBron and Bronny making history made you feel what? To me, it was just anticlimactic. It made me feel much more, it's closer to like I wish it would have went better versus, oh, what a nice father-son moment. And for C-Cat, he's just outright hating. Hit us up on the Baptist Health Hotline, 888-760-3776. 888-760-3776. How do you feel coming off of the Bronny and LeBron debut under the lights? Are you experiencing foot and ankle pain and need to see an expert in the field? Baptist Health Orthopedic Care has a team of foot and ankle orthopedic surgeons and specialists who are regarded as leaders in their specialty. Visit baptisthealth.net/ortho to learn more today. Baptist Health Orthopedic Care combines its resources of experienced physicians and leading-edge treatments and technology to provide advanced orthopedic, foot and ankle, joint replacement, spine, and sports medicine care. Visit baptisthealth.net/ortho for more information today. Baptist Health Orthopedic Care has offices conveniently located in Palm Beach County, right on through the Florida Keys. Learn more by visiting baptisthealth.net/ortho. Describe the LeBron and Bronny moment as they make history, the first father-son duo to play on the same team, in the same game. To me, straight up anticlimactic. We have Phil in Boynton. He's on Theoretically Speaking. And Phil, did you watch last night as the Lakers made history with the father-son duo?
No, I didn't get a chance on that, but listen, there's, some of it you could add up to nerves and at the, beginning to see how it goes from there. But a lot of it is, people, a lot of sports fans, they're haters right off the gun. And then when something happens, just like with Russell Wilson the other night, they were booing him. And then when he came around, he couldn't do anything wrong.
Are you for or against Bronny and LeBron? Are you mad that Bronny is in the league and playing with his dad and on the Lakers?
No, I'm not. I just think that it should be separated. Be honest with you, one should be on one team and
play against each other. Yeah,
Thank you. You should earn it. right? You're not just on that team because your dad's on that team. You earn a roster spot.
Earn your calling and stop the nepotism.
Appreciate it, Phil. We appreciate the call. That's Phil and Boynton saying he's got to earn it. And to me, Bronny did earn it.
No, how? No.
He's put the hours in. He's practiced well enough to become a good enough prospect. And also, CCAT, you're saying how? Whoa, no. There were other teams that were trying to, reportedly, if we're going to believe the reports, that were going to draft Bronny anyways.
To recruit LeBron.
Not to recruit LeBron, because they actually believe in the prospect that is Bronny James. There's a world in which this dude actually becomes a rotation player in the NBA, and it's more likely than not. And it's not just because of his last name.
Yes, it is. It is because he is LeBron James' son.
Well, because he's LeBron James' son, the roadmap is there for him. And again, he's always going to have the guiding light of LeBron fully invested both financially and with the wisdom into him. So, sorry, if we're taking crapshoots at the back end of the second round, if we're out here trying to figure out, okay, one of these guys might be a starter for us one day down the line, one of these guys might hit a big shot for us in a big moment one day down the line, why not go with the guy who literally has soaked up all of the game from one of the best that has ever touched the basketball? And on top of that, we've seen it happen and work so many times in the NBA where sons of former pros, because they know how to be a pro, end up lasting longer in the league and end up being good. Look at Steph Curry. It's not the same, but I sure as hell don't know what the hell they would have done with the 55th pick in the draft if it not Bronny James, because we wouldn't be talking about the dude and it probably wouldn't pan out for him anyways.
You know, it's kind of interesting because living up to his dad's reputation is such an unattainable
impossible.
It's impossible. You just can't do it. So it's almost like there's less pressure, because if Bronny was a top 3 lottery pick and gets drafted to an organization that thinks that's the savior, that's our guy, it's almost like there's more pressure because, in theory, he has the potential to be a player that could build an organization just like LeBron did with Cleveland and Miami.
The ceiling would be through the roof if you're drafting a guy like Bronny and he was somebody that you consider the top 3 pick in the league. You're right.
But since he's a late second rounder, it's like, okay, so we kind of know he kind of sucks. So there's no pressure there. Just do your best, pal.
I want to do this right here, and I know it's not going to matter. But again, like I said last week that the Chiefs will go get DeAndre Hopkins, I'm going to say it here today. LeBron James Jr. is going to have a 10-year career in this league, a 10-plus year career
in this league,
in the National Basketball Association. He will.
Not Turkey.
He will pan out. No, in the NBA. He will. All right, your word versus mine, CCAT. Bronny is going to have a 10-year career, and he will become a rotational player at some point. He's going to get all the help he needs to do so, and we've seen at every point of the way him actually putting in the work to try and live up to that bill.
10 years is a long time in the NBA. I'm going to look up some players that you know, that everyone who's listening will know that did not make it 10 years in this league.
Please do. Please do. We'll bring that on the other side. Bronny James is going to have a 10-year career. He will be at least a rotational player on basketball rosters, like playing real minutes for a team. And it's a couple of things. Number one, he knows how to be a pro. Number two, he's been putting the work in. And also, again, the time and financial resources that have been invested in this kid since his dad was 20 in the league and he had him. For these past 20 years, LeBron has been trying to craft him into a basketball player, and the dude has also been bought in on it and trying to make it happen too. I believe it's going to happen. I believe more so on that side of things than guys like you who are poo-pooing it.
Jeremy Lin did not make it 10 years in the National Basketball Association.
It wasn't good enough. He came late too.
Neither will be Bronny. 10 years
Bronny
is a
will
long
make it
time.
10 years in the league. 10 years is a long time, and that's why, again, we can pull up we'll pull up a list. We'll talk about it on the other side. Evan Cohen's going to join us from Unsportsmanlike on the other side as well. We'll get his thoughts on that. Plus, the NHL has had it with the Howls. The Major League Baseball has had it twice, and we just saw it in the NBA last night. A father-son duo playing at the same time. When will the NFL catch up? And which positions could actually make this happen? Makes you think. We'll talk about that with Evan Cohen on the other side. That's CCAT. I'm Theo Dorsey. We're Theoretically Speaking on ESPN 106.3.
Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios. Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 1-800-747-FREE. This is ESPN 106.3.
Mornings. Nope, not my thing. But when I imagine a McDonald's breakfast in my hands, suddenly the snooze button is out of the picture. Now for a limited time, the 2 for $5 mix and match breakfast deal includes the sausage, egg, and cheese McGriddles, egg McMuffin, or the sausage McMuffin with egg. It's like a fist bump for breakfast that says, you've got this. It's time to gear up and seize the day. The breakfast hype is real. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. Limited time only. Prices and participation may vary. Cannot be combined with any other offer or combo meal. Single item at regular price.
Attention chicken lovers, we asked for it and McDonald's came through. Introducing the Chicken Big Mac. Treat yourself to the mouth-watering perfection of a Chicken Big Mac. 2 tender, juicy chicken patties sandwiched between a sesame seed bun, plus classic Big Mac sauce, tangy pickles, crisp lettuce, and a melty slice of American cheese. Hey chicken lovers, we did it. Order ahead in the McDonald's app and save 20% on orders over $10. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. Offer valid through 12/31/24 at participating McDonald's. Valid once a day. Excludes tax. Must opt into rewards.
I'm Wendy Sartori-Link, your Palm Beach County Supervisor of Elections. Election Day is November 5th. In Palm Beach County, eligible voters can vote during early voting from October 21st through November 3rd at any early voting location. Visit votepalmbeach.gov to find a location, check wait times, and skip the line by making an appointment ahead of time. Don't forget to bring your photo and signature ID. We can't wait to see you at the polls. Sponsored by the Palm Beach County Supervisor of Elections Office.
Time now for a PNC pause. PNC Bank is committed to helping the customers and the communities they serve move forward financially. See how they can make a difference for you at pnc.com.
ESPN West Palm and Humana are proud to recognize military veterans within our local community. Our Veteran of the Month is Colin Durant. Colin served 5 years in the United States Navy, with additional service as an FMF corpsman in the U.S. Marines. Colin resides in West Palm Beach and continues to be an inspiring presence in the veteran community. He is a proud owl, graduating from Florida Atlantic University with a master's degree in business. Colin is an avid sports fan. His favorite teams are the San Francisco 49ers and the Philadelphia Phillies. His favorite athlete is Kevin Durant. Join us in extending our heartfelt gratitude to Colin for his unwavering service, sacrifice, and continued dedication to his fellow veterans. Colin Durant is the Veteran of the Month, presented by ESPN West Palm and Humana.
Mark your calendars and gear up for game day. This Sunday, October 27th, join Bud Light and the ESPN West Palm Street Team at Recovery Sports Bar in Port St. Lucie. Catch the action as the Cardinals face off against the Miami Dolphins from 2 to 4 p.m. Showcase your football skills for a chance to qualify for Dolphins tickets. Enjoy $20 Bud Light buckets while you cheer on the Fins. Must be 21 or older to participate. Southern Eagle reminds you to please drink responsibly.
Calling all sports fans, grab your MVP card and head to Duffy's where you can catch all of the action. Not an MVP? Sign up for free and start earning rewards today. Duffy's is voted the best sports grill year after year with their award-winning burgers and wings. Don't forget about Duffy's famous 2-for-1 drinks all day, every day. And with over 80 TVs in every location, you'll never miss a minute of the game. Visit Duffy'sMVP.com to learn more. Duffy's, our game is always on.
Texting enrolls you in a recurring automated marketing text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
The team's looking good this season. I think so. Man, I miss playing football. Being young with unlimited energy to burn. Ever since I turned 40, I just can't find that fire I used to have.
Think it could be lower testosterone?
What do you mean?
All guys lose their edge when they turn 40. The body has less testosterone. That's why I take Nugenix Total T.
I've heard about Nugenix. That really works?
Since I started taking Nugenix, I'm lifting like when we played for Coach Carter. I feel more energized at work. It's even spiced up things between me and the missus.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles for people to try?
Yep, send a text. It's that easy.
Text CHEST to 42424 right now for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T. It's the #1 selling testosterone boosting brand at GNC and Walmart. Do it now and they'll also send you a bottle of Nugenix Thermo X, their newest, most powerful fat burner ever, absolutely free. Text CHEST to 42424. That's CHEST to 42424. These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
ESPN 1063 is presented by Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733.
They can help you if you're in an accident, but your fantasy football team, not so much.
Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios, Theo Dorsey is theoretically speaking. Streaming live on YouTube, here's Theo Dorsey.
World Series gets started this weekend. The Heat tip off tonight, their season. And, of course, we saw history be made in the NBA with LeBron James and his son, Bronny James, or LeBron James Jr., first father-son duo to play in an NBA game together. First father-son duo to incite literal rage and hate out of C-Cat for no apparent reason. I don't get it. Joining us now, our friend, our guy. Apparently, him and C-Cat are really best buds because all through the break, they're just yapping and yapping on the phone. They're caked up. They're just talking. Just look. C-Cat looked like a guy that was, in high school when you're laying on the bed and you're twiddling your toes in the air and you're on the phone just cheesing. I'm like, what the hell are they talking about? It's Evan Cohen from Unsportsmanlike, 6 to 10 a.m. here on ESPN 106.3. Ev, what was up, man? What had C-Cat cheesing like that?
Well, okay, so a couple of things on that. First of all, he never calls me with any kind of sense of normality. There's always something that he has to do. Like a couple of times ago when I talked to him on the phone, I was like, how's everything? You enjoying everything? And he goes, yeah, I got a keychain with a menu on it from a Chinese restaurant last night. I'm like, okay. And then today, he literally, I thought he was pitching me from a sales perspective.
Yeah.
He's like, hey, I just wanted to let you know, we have a great opportunity for your brand to be associated with our business and be a part of our show.
Wow.
I was like, great, but I'm part of this show. I'm on the air.
Yeah.
I'm not the person you should be pitching. I agree with you that businesses in and around Palm Beach County and the Treasure Coast should absolutely want to be a part of Theoretically Speaking.
Of course.
And it's a great way to get your brand out there. But I'm a host. I'm not running a business. I don't know what the hell he's talking about here.
No,
he's cold calling me. It's very weird.
Me and Theo agreed that, we want to get the Evan Cohen brand some exposure,
Yeah.
so we called him up. The reason why I spice it up with you, Evan, when I screen your call is because when you get a phone call coming from ESPN West Palm, I want you to rev up the engines, get excited for what you're about to hear. I don't want to run the mill. Hey, please hold. Thanks. All right, bye.
Thank you, C-Cat.
See, I want a little treat, a little piece of candy.
You never know what you're going to get.
I mean, did you not think that I was going to be energetic with you guys? You need to butter me up? I didn't realize I needed this. Okay. All right. I'm ready to go now as a result of that.
It's a little more incentive. That's all he's doing is just creating a little more incentive. He says his one job is to always walk into a room and humble everybody. His secondary job is to give you a little pep in your step, a little energizer.
Okay.
And we appreciate the catalyst. C-Cat, the catalyst.
Hey, yeah. Did you do that on purpose or no?
I didn't. I'm really good at this, man. I am really good at this, Evan. I'll take a break to pat myself on the back there.
Wait a minute. I like this.
Yeah.
Catalyst, and it's just like C-Cat's 3 biggest hot takes to light everything on fire.
Oh my
Works
God.
3 ways.
Oh my good. We are coming up with things here on the fly. We should this is not even, I was going to talk Bronny and LeBron. I was going to also pick your brain about, the Heat making sure they win against the Magic tonight because we're dedicating that court to Pat Riley, and they're not going to let him lose. The Pat Riley is not going to let the Heat lose on the night where that court is being dedicated in his name. But maybe this should just be a brainstorming session on how we can further market C-Cat as well here.
No, please no.
I think Catalyst is better than the analysis. Yeah.
Catalyst is a little bit. Now, the analysis is great. They did their thing with that naming. I'm not sure if it was Thanasis Antetokounmpo or if it was our teammates at Good Karma Brands that came up with it. Thanalysis is an amazing name. Catalyst might surpass that. Here's my question to you, Evan Cohen.
Yeah.
If Bronny James and Thanasis went one-on-one today, who you got?
Thanasis. Well, Thanasis has an ACL injury right now, or some sort of injury right now.
Scratch the injury. Okay.
Okay, yeah, I'd go Thanasis, and I'm going to tell you why. And I know it's you're doing it tongue in cheek, but I'm going to give you a real answer. Every time I've seen Thanasis play basketball, he plays like his life is on the line.
True.
And he doesn't play like a guy. Listen, neither of them are overly skilled, obviously, but he doesn't play like a guy that, for lack of a better way of saying it, Theo, was handed a roster spot. He plays like a guy that, if he doesn't give max effort, everyone's dead as a result of that.
Yeah.
Which is actually what I love. I don't sense that from Bronny. That's the weirdest thing for me that I've been saying to people is he doesn't feel like he plays like he's the last guy on the roster hoping to keep his job every day. Probably because he's not the last guy on the roster hoping to keep his job every day.
4 years guaranteed.
But Yeah, that's the weirdest thing is like, all right, so something was like kind of handed to you. I'm not suggesting the young man doesn't work. I'm not suggesting he's not a good young man because I find me one thing he's done wrong in his life that we're aware of.
Well, there was that
public guy.
There was that moment in the bubble. That was that moment in the bubble where LeBron was off in the bubble and Bronny had that video go out on Instagram. I don't know if you recall that.
Yes.
Yeah, that was it. That's minor.
Okay. Right. I agree with you. As a dad, I wouldn't be happy with that.
Yeah.
Relative to the law, I don't think
fine.
he can get in trouble for that though in 2024.
He's fine.
Right. Yeah. So if that's the one blemish, like whatever. So I just don't get the sense that he's like a madman out there. Like I would think he should play. Like he couldn't play for the Heat. No way.
Come on.
Yes.
No.
That's a stamp of approval.
No. Here's the thing. So I love the defensive possession he had on Anthony Edwards. What's
Wait
up?
a minute, Deal.
Yeah.
You think that Bronny James playing that way could play for the Heat?
We only saw 3 minutes of action at least last night, and also I do think he does. He plays with a motor. He'll pick up guys full court. He tries to be an on-ball hound, which he'll get better at, and I think he's really good defensively. He's a little bit more cool. His demeanor is super cool, but so was D Wade. Like, D Wade had a very cool and calm approach.
Don't.
Just saying, Bronny on one hand, D Wade on the other one. I'm just saying, like, what's the difference? Evan,
Don't, please don't.
I won't. I'm kidding. Dwayne Wade, my favorite athlete of all time. What do you? The Heat obviously tip off the season tonight at Kaseya Center against the Magic. A 7:30 tip-off as we get ready to really get full throttle into NBA season here. Pat Riley didn't want it, but in his 30th season with the franchise, they are doing a court dedication in the name of Pat Riley. And the only thought coming off of this for me is from Eric Spoelstra down to Jimmy Butler and Bam Adebayo. I've never been more confident in a Heat win because those three guys are not letting them lose on a night where Pat Riley is being celebrated, right?
I hope you're right about this. The opener is a game they always lose, specifically to the Magic or Hornets. Like they always end up losing to the Magic or Hornets on a terrible opener that literally results in a 10:30 p.m. text message or phone call between one Jeremy Marsh-Peltz and I from ESPN West Palm, of course. Misery, like loves company on this. It's just awful. It's awful. It's always that way. But I have a different outlook on the Heat this year. Okay? I have a much different outlook than I've had in God knows how long. I think this is opposite year for the Heat. What do I mean by that? Normally, we sit here, and you and I both as fans, we sit here and we lament the regular season because we know going into the 82-game season, it's going to frustrate us.
Yeah.
Jimmy's not going to play. They're going to have all these undrafted guys. They're going to win 42 to 46 games. They're going to be miserable to watch, all 82, as you know I do. And it drives you crazy. And then you get in the postseason, you're like, why couldn't they be this way all season? And they end up in the finals. Yeah. And we're like, holy crap, this is the greatest run ever. I think it's going to be the exact opposite this year. Let me tell you something. I'm not kidding when I tell you this. I believe they are going to contend for the number one seed in the Eastern Conference.
Oh, my gosh. Did you see the Celtics play last night, Evan?
I did. And the Boston Celtics, at some point this year, will realize we don't have to actually use our players that much, try that hard, or play that many minutes. I think that if you look at this Eastern Conference, find me a team that has more to play for in the regular season with more good players, with things on the line that could potentially achieve than the Miami Heat. So here's where you have to look through this. The Philadelphia 76ers have already punted on the regular season. Literally already done that.
Yeah.
The Milwaukee Bucks have won a title with this group outside of Dame, obviously. I think they're going to have a very good regular season. I actually picked them to win the championship the other day on Unsportsmanlike.
Wow.
And I think that they are going to have a really good postseason and pace themselves during the regular season. Boston doesn't have to win games in the regular season. Doesn't matter. I think Indiana has a step back year a little bit. The Knicks, people don't understand this about the Knicks. What the Knicks did was actually shorten their rotation.
Yep.
And when Tom Thibodeau doesn't use a lot of guys anyway, I'd be nervous if I'm a Knicks fan. Not that my starting lineup's not great. It is, despite last night. But what happens after that? And when you narrow it down and you think about it's enough of everyone saying about Bam, oh, imagine what he could do if he was in this offense or had a three-pointer. He's got all of it now. It's going to be tailored to him. This has to be the best regular season of his career. Jimmy Butler's financial future, not that he's going broke,
right,
but financial future is on the line with this season. And I wrote this down prior to our conversation because I wanted to make sure I was prepped for this. So many years with this team around Jimmy, it's they get these guys that we've never heard of that are not drafted, and you're like, well, who are these people?
Mm-hmm.
Do you know that their primary roster of the 14 guys non-two-way deals this year, they have 9 first-round picks, 3 second-round picks, and only 2 undrafted free agents. And the 2 undrafted free agents are guys that you're very familiar with in Duncan Robinson and Haywood Highsmith.
Already made their day.
By the way, yeah, exactly. And by the way, one of the two-way guys is another former first-round pick, Josh Christopher.
Yep.
Why am I telling you this? Because this is not a mishmash of where the hell did these guys come from. This is the most high-end talent that Jimmy Butler has played with in a Miami Heat uniform.
Mm. And to add to that, there are some very lofty expectations on their first-round pick, Khalil Ware out of Indiana, the big man who can really do so many different things on the court. He'll be slow-rolled into it, but if by the end of this year he's able to be the starting center alongside Bam, I do really, really like what the Heat can be this year. I'm super optimistic. I'm right back in, and I will hopefully not regret it tonight when the Heat take on the Magic. Evan, appreciate your time. Can you just please do me one favor, one small favor?
Yeah.
And this is for CCAT. Just let him know on the way out here that Hopkins to the Chiefs seals the deal for the 3rd Super Bowl title. I know you're anti-receiver, but you're pro Mahomes, and the Chiefs, I think, did it again.
Okay. I'm anti-wide receiver when I'm paying them to make my team.
Yes.
I'm very pro-wide receiver when I get a guy on October 23rd that if he's not good on October 24th, I can cut and it doesn't matter. But here's where I'm going to tell you something. If you think this sealed the deal, you're crazy. You know what sold the deal, or what sealed the deal, excuse me? Mahomes woke up today.
Yeah.
That's what sealed the deal.
Yeah.
Like,
that's true.
It's not about DeAndre Hopkins. Now, I happen to like this move. You know what move? Of all the wide receiver moves that have been made, the one I like the least is Devontae Adams.
Yeah. Right. It's a little redundant for them. It's redundant for them, and also
what's the point? They're 2-5.
Yeah.
You realize if they lose to the Patriots this week, which is not off the table, with everything going on with New England, like they better come out with some fire this week. If they lose to the Patriots, they're 2-6. I already said it on our show today. I'm coming on the air on Monday if the Jets lose, and I'm going to tell you the Jets should trade Aaron Rodgers.
Oh my gosh!
Because no, that's not a hot take. That's the point. If I told you a football team going into the season was going to be 2-6 after 8 games with a 40-year-old quarterback, what would you tell me that team should do?
Oh my! Yeah, you're right. They should try. You know what they should do though, because is Zach Wilson available? Like I feel like he's like 3rd in the depth chart for the Broncos right now. Just a dart throw.
If they traded for him.
Just a dart throw. I mean, the they were better last year with Zach Wilson. So, but also here's the last thing. Then, if you do trade Aaron Rodgers, do you have to trade the rest of his posse? Because there's like 20 Aaron Rodgers guys.
Yeah, no, I mean, like people think that's a hot take, and I'm kidding, and all this kind of stuff, and they would never do that. I'm being dead serious. If I told you you're a win now football team that is 2-6 after 8 games, tied with New England, that coach called them soft after 8 games, and your quarterback was 40 years old, nobody in their right mind would suggest you should then keep that quarterback for the rest of the season. Everyone logically would say if anyone would give you anything for that guy, it becomes much better for you to be 2-15 than it does for you to be 3-7. I'm telling you right now, that is what I'm going to do on Monday, and that is what I'm going to say because it is completely logical.
I'm sorry, I got distracted here because we got Gary that just walked in. Evan Cohen making a demonstrative statement, and now I'm rooting for Drake May to put the nail in the coffin for the Aaron Rodgers tenure with the Jets. Evan, appreciate you dropping that bomb on us on the way out, and we'll catch you next week.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
That's Evan Cohen from Unsportsmanlike, 6 to 10 a.m., a guy that is my brother in Heat culture and also a guy that is He's great at delivering stuff like that. I wouldn't have thought of it. I would have never assumed it was possible, but he's right. If the Jets do lose again next week in about 4 days on the road, Aaron Rodgers needs to be on that next flight out of town, and I'm not sure what team would like to have him at this point. We're about to bring in our guy, Gary Forbes. He's a former NBA vet, former star in college. Actually, we're going to talk specifically about some of that in a little bit, but I want to tell you about Duffy Sports Grill because if you want to be able to set up on Sunday maybe and watch both Aaron Rodgers fall, but simultaneously some of the other games on the 1 o'clock slate, maybe you're curious what happens with Tua and the Dolphins when he comes back against those Cardinals. Well, the only place where you can watch that and more at the same time is a Duffy Sports Grill because they have 80 or more televisions at every single location. I hope you're ready for some football because it's already in motion. Duffy's, they've got a full starting lineup of new features for football season, including the house-made fried pickles, smoked fish dip, gridiron nachos, crispy fried green beans, and loaded and barbecue pig skins. And, of course, you get the 2-for-1 drinks all day, every day. Duffy's Sports Grill is the place to be. Duffy'sMVP.com to check out the menu and get tapped in. Visit Duffy'sMVP.com for more. And to be a rewards member like me, an MVP. At Duffy's, our game is always on. On the other side, to help us break down the NBA season and for further thoughts on Bronny James and LeBron, we bring in Gary Forbes, former NBA vet, and a guy who is now working in the area, training athletes to maybe make it to the league as well. C-Cat, I can't believe you're against Bronny and LeBron. Hopefully Gary can turn the tide on that. We're Theoretically Speaking on ESPN 106.3.
Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios. Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 1-800-747-FREE. This is ESPN 106.3.
Welcome to Homestead Miami, your home for the racing high life. A track as vibrant and colorful as South Florida. An Xfinity and Craftsman Truck Series playoffs doubleheader on Saturday. A Cup Series playoffs showdown on Sunday. And it's all caliente.
Side by side for the race lead.
NASCAR playoffs weekend at Homestead Miami Speedway, October 26th and 27th. Get your tickets now at homesteadmiamispeedway.com.
Hell of a job, guys.
I'm Wendy Sartori-Link, your Palm Beach County Supervisor of Elections. Tuesday, November 5th is Election Day and the polls are open 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. Find where you vote at votepalmbeach.gov. Remember to bring your photo and signature ID. If you still have a mail ballot, you can either vote in person at your polling location, drop it off at one of our drop-off locations during designated hours, or bring it to our main office by 7 p.m. on Election Day. It's an honor to serve and ensure your vote counts. See you at the polls. Sponsored by the Palm Beach County Supervisor of Elections Office.
The Bud Light Football Tour is back as Florida State takes on University of Miami. Join the ESPN West Palm Street Team this Saturday, October 26th from 5 to 7 p.m. at the Boulevard in Boynton Beach. Come show us your football skills as we'll be giving away tickets to a University of Miami game. Drink specials include buckets of Bud Lights for $20 and $25 for Ultras. Must be 21 or older to participate. Southern Eagle reminds you to please drink responsibly.
Hi, I'm Michael Manzo, owner and founder of Manzo's Italian Deli, and
Stop, Dad. After 20 years, people are tired of hearing your voice.
Yeah, and your lame-ass commercials.
Fresh prosciutto, mozzarella, outstanding.
Oh, please.
There's only one reason Manzo's has voted #1 deli in Palm Beach County for 20 years. Our mother.
She makes sure you prepare everything from scratch using only the freshest ingredients.
Manso's Italian Deli is located on Palm Beach Lakes Boulevard, right next to Rain Dancers.
Is that a strip club?
No, it's a steakhouse. Manso's is open weekdays from 8 to 5 and offers free delivery. So stop by or call 697-9411. That's 697-9411.
we also specialize in hot and cold catering for corporate functions and special events.
Just ask anyone who was at my last birthday party.
Batter up, swing, batter, batter, swing, batter, batter.
This one is for all the marbles. World Series Week on ESPN 106.3 is presented by PNC Bank. PNC Bank is committed to making a difference in the lives of the customers they serve in the South Florida community. See how at PNC.com. World Series Week on ESPN 106.3 is also presented by Hurricane Grill and Wings, X-Golf West Palm Beach, the Breakers Palm Beach, and South Florida Ford.
Meet Cheryl. Hey. She's on vacation and lost in the moment. Unfortunately, so is her Chase debit card.
It's gotta be somewhere.
Maybe she lost it at salsa night.
These skirts should have pockets.
Or maybe she lost it at Pilates.
3 and 2 and...
But she's not worried. With the Chase mobile app, she can lock her card till it turns up. Tools that help protect. One bank that puts you in control. Visit chase.com/checking. Chase, make more of what's yours.
Chase mobile app is available for select mobile devices. Message and data rates may apply. JP Morgan Chase Bank, N.A. member FDIC.
Okay, everyone, what did you think of the chocolate bar?
It's too chewy.
Feels kind of chalky.
Too much nougat.
I need to go brush my teeth.
Business is booming for Steph's small marketing research firm.
After all these focus groups, there's only one conclusion. I need more researchers.
And she's way too busy researching
Does this have peanuts?
to waste time researching resumes.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Put our matching platform to work so you can spend less time searching and more time connecting with talented candidates. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios, Theo Dorsey is Theoretically Speaking. Streaming live on YouTube, here's Theo Dorsey.
Another day on Theoretically Speaking on this Wednesday following the tip-off of the NBA season. Of course, tonight we got the Heat getting things going against the Magic as they dedicate the court to Pat Riley, and the rest of the league also underway. I also dominated our fantasy basketball league draft last night, CCAT. Sorry that you ended up with Joel Embiid. Hopefully he plays this year. Hopefully. We'll
Guaranteed.
see.
I got the magic touch.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Joining us now on Theoretically Speaking is my guy, Gary Forbes, a former NBA vet, a guy who has played professional ball. And for how many years total did you play ball from start to finish of your career coming out of UMass?
Start to finish, it was about maybe 13 years, 12, 13 years.
12 or 13 years playing pro. And it's ironic we bring you on today following LeBron James and Bronny James's history-making night for the Lakers, first father-son duo to play in the league. You were in the LeBron James high school class of 03 coming out, and but you did say that y'all were dominant on the summer tour.
On the summer circuit, we were dominant. Some of the guys that I played, on my team were Quincy Doobie, Gary Irvin. Quincy Doobie was in the NBA.
Yeah.
Derek Character, AJ Price. So we had a good group.
And when you look and watch what LeBron is still doing, how high he's flying, he has his son playing next to him. Are you like, man, did you look yourself in the mirror and check your crossover? Like, what?
I feel like I definitely didn't put enough money into my body, taking care of myself.
Yeah.
But he's one of one, man. He's one of one.
Gary Forbes joining us here on Theoretically Speaking. We're going to talk some NBA. We're going to specifically talk about last night with Bronny and LeBron James, as well as you do have several things that you're offering here in Palm Beach County and the Treasure Coast. You'll be training basketball players. Have you gotten underway with your training of athletes yet?
Yeah, I'm actually the coach, the girls coach at Rosarian Academy. I'm the middle school coach, and we're starting an academy, a basketball academy. It's called Details Academy, Details Elite, and partnering with South Florida United, and basically just trying to give it's kind of the name behind the academy is Details.
Yeah.
I'm big on fundamentals. I was able to get to the NBA. I always tell the story that there were players who were faster than me, jumped higher than me, a lot, probably maybe shoot better than me, but I was paying attention to the details of the game. Always first guy in, last guy out. Those kind of small little intricate things that can, make you a good pro.
Now, when you say, I'm glad you told that side of it, because you had to work and grind your way into the NBA. When you left UMass, I believe it was 2008, 09. You were the Atlantic 10 Player of the Year.
Mm-hmm.
You probably know the answer to this trivia question here, but you actually, in a single season, that year where you won A10 Player of the Year, you had the second most points all time for a Minuteman in a season.
Yep.
You remember who's number one?
Yeah, Dr. J.
Dr. J.
I was kind of mad. If we play one more game, I'll break that record.
Yeah.
If we play one more game,
Did y'all went to the NIT that year?
Yeah, went to the NIT, lost in the NIT championship.
So you played as many games as you could. Did you sit any games out during the season?
Nah, just thinking maybe if we in a tournament we make a deep run and maybe I got taken out in a second half when we were blowing out a team. I probably could have got more points.
You were 29. Dr. J 727. You had 698. So you were 29 points away from time.
Another 30 ball, I'd have had it.
Another 30 ball. You had that in your bank. You grinded your way to the league. So from 08 when you went and played overseas, and then you went from summer league roster to summer league roster until you were able to make it onto a league. The first team to sign you was
the Denver Nuggets.
The Denver Nuggets. When you see that happen for you and you know the grind it took, and then you see a guy that probably had a similar skill level coming out in a guy like Bronny James, do you think like, damn, I wish my name was Michael Jordan Jr. I would have gotten the league quicker.
Right. I mean, but that's everyone has their own storyline. He's been through a lot, but I'm sure he definitely puts in the work. We've seen it on social media, all the work that he puts in. I mean, his father is LeBron James, so
he grinded.
Right, he's in the gym. He has all the everything around him to make him a good pro. In retrospect to my story, I was able, I'm big on cliches, so I'm big on the. Hard work pays off.
Don't say too many cliches around CCAT, my producer here. He hates cliches. So.
Man, they're good, man. Yeah, they're real life.
Every time our friend Tina, who pulls up usually for the happy hour, she's not in today, so you'll miss her. Every time she delivers a cliche, he jumps all over her neck. So just, again, he probably won't do it to you because you 6'8", and Tina's like 5'4", but just know.
Yeah, but I'm definitely it's amazing to watch the fact that LeBron James is playing with his son. I seen a meme. It was like this guy created his own teammate.
Right, legit. He created a player while he was in the league.
Right, created a player.
Shout out Savannah for her part in that. Gary Forbes joining us here. He's currently coaching at a middle school. He also trains. He has a book we're going to talk about in a little bit here that you should probably go out and get now for your kids. We'll give you the link and the information on that. But also we're talking about the tip-off to the NBA. Before we do get to that, we did have Jalen in our chat right here. Again, our YouTube stream presented by Prize Picks at Theo Speaking. He said, Gary Forbes coaching middle school girls is unfair. They're going undefeated. What the hell are the rest of these teams supposed to do out here when they got a guy like you with the wisdom and the ability coaching them up?
I had the girls really working hard yesterday. We're working on a lot of fundamental stuff, breaking stuff down, a lot of things that they didn't they weren't used to. So that's the plan, to go undefeated this year and all about winning.
We'll be pulling for it, only because I don't know what other middle schools there are out there going. So I have one school that I'm more aware of, and we'll be pulling for y'all to pull some W's out as we tap back in with you throughout the year. Gary Forbes joining us, talking some NBA. We're going to have to go to break in a second here, but I had one more thing I wanted to touch on before we bring you back. You're able to stick around a little bit?
Yeah, for sure.
You being a guy that has seen what it's like to both fight your way into the league and then come out on the other side of it and create a life after basketball, what are some of those things that people don't consider when it comes to pro athletes like yourself? Because I think specifically to your journey, like you were the first NBA player to ever play who was diagnosed with type 1 diabetes.
Yeah, 1 of 3. I'm the first and only one to date, the only African-American Latino to play in the NBA with type 1 diabetes.
Yeah.
And it's just a mindset. I wasn't gonna let type 1 diabetes dictate my future.
Yeah.
I'm a big optimist. So if you think you can, you're right. If you think you can't, you're right too.
See, Kat, does that stir anything up in you?
I haven't heard that one before. It's not a cliche as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, all right, that's good.
It's a one of one for him now. But no, so and you that perseverance and everything is what drove you to be able to not just make it to the league, but keep yourself healthy. And you say you're still kind of in that same regimen that you were when you were playing, right?
Yeah, man, it's a lifestyle. I'm addicted to the lifestyle. Wake up at 4:45 a.m. and do the cold plunge, work out. I'm staying in shape. I don't want to be that guy when people see me. It's like, oh, is that Gary Forbes? And that's it's not one of the stories I want to be told about me.
Yeah, that's what somebody said about CCAT when they saw him in the YouTube chat the other day. They've been commenting on his weight for the past. No, it's true. I'm not even.
Someone's talking about your weight now, too, in the chat. We're getting watched now.
Are we getting?
Yeah, they said buttons were gonna pop off your shirt when you stretched in that chair.
Yeah, well, I mean that's just the muscle mass. You know what I'm saying? I could unbutton one of them anyways because that's what I do when I'm feeling good. We'll keep talking NBA, and I want to get your pick here. For the chance, because we saw what the Celtics did last night.
Man,
it looked so fun to be on that court with them, just heaving up threes.
Man,
we'll talk a little league and more on the other side here. Plus, tell the good people about your book. So stick around. That's CCAT. That's Gary Forbes. I'm Theo Dorsey. We're Theoretically Speaking on ESPN 106.3.
Anajar and Levine.
Call 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733.
ESPN 1063.
WUUB Jupiter, a Good Karma Brands radio station.
ESPN 1063 is presented by Rubenstein Law. 1-800-FL-LEGAL. Car accident, truck accident, Uber or Lyft accident, or a slip and fall. Call Rubenstein Law. Call 1-800-FL-LEGAL and visit one of our offices throughout Florida.
Good Greek Moving and Storage. Your superhero movers.
It's the Good Greek Spiro. For the best move ever, go to goodgreek.com.
Good Greek Moving and Storage. Your superhero movers.
Calling all sports fans, grab your MVP card and head to Duffy's where you can catch all of the action. Not an MVP? Sign up for free and start earning rewards today. Duffy's is voted the best sports grill year after year with their award-winning burgers and wings. Don't forget about Duffy's famous 2-for-1 drinks all day, every day. And with over 80 TVs in every location, you'll never miss a minute of the game. Visit Duffy'sMVP.com to learn more. Duffy's, our game is always on.
Festive fun is back on select nights. At Palm Beach Zoo, there's family fun. It's the best date night. Oh, Zoo Lights cheer, here at Palm Beach Zoo. Oh, what fun it is to save wildlife at the zoo. Hey!
Zoo Lights, presented by Florida Power and Light Company and Discover the Palm Beaches, Florida. Get your tickets today at pbzoo.org/zoolights.
Does your business leave a lasting impression? Attractive, eye-catching signs help you stand out from the crowd and create a strong brand identity. Our team at Signorama West Palm are experts in helping your business get noticed and get effective signage in front of your potential customers. Our team can turn your blank windows or plain vehicles into money-making branding machines by drawing customers' attention to your business. So if you're looking to leave that lasting impression, call us 561-687-7993 or visit signoramawpb.com.
Hi, this is Blaine Isbell, Corporate Vice President of Team IP. For over 30 years, Team IP has been a national leader in decorated apparel and promotional products. National corporate brands and 22 college bowl games, including the Boca Raton Bowl, make Team IP their partner of choice. Team IP, located right in our community in Stuart, is a proud partner of ESPN West Palm. Contact me anytime at 877-821-8643 or head to teamip.com and take the first step in making Team IP your team to boost your brand.
Hi, I'm Scott Smith with Smith Ball Baez and Prather, Florida Injury Lawyers. As you have likely seen and heard, law firm advertising is at an all-time high. Attorney ads seem to be part of every radio and TV commercial segment. Some firms are even using paid actors and actresses to speak for them. At Smith Ball Baez and Prather, we know that the decision to hire a law firm should never be based on advertisements alone. It is our past results and many positive 5-star reviews that we encourage you to read at smithball.com to learn more about our law firm. We have board-certified lawyers. We have lawyers listed in the best lawyers in America and in super lawyers. But most importantly, we have experienced lawyers located right here in Palm Beach County and the Treasure Coast that are ready to be your advocate and your voice, and fully prepared to start fighting for your legal rights today. Our purpose, legal power. Our mission, huge results. If you've been injured, the lawyers at Smith Ball Baez and Prather will help. Call us at 500-HELP, 500-HELP. With Smith Ball Baez and Prather, help is just a local phone call away. Offices Palm Beach Gardens, Boca Raton, and Port St. Lucie.
Any business that wants to get to the top and stay there requires a dedicated team to implement a winning game plan. EisnerAmper's seasoned professionals provide business advisory and consulting services, such as audit, accounting, tax, HR, outsourcing, and more. EisnerAmper business advisors help clients transform their companies, build capital, innovate processes, and mitigate risk. For industry-specific strategies that meet your needs in South Florida, make EisnerAmper part of your solution. Visit EisnerAmper.com/solution.
Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios.
The man your man could smell it.
Theo Dorsey is theoretically speaking.
But are you a different animal and the same beast?
Streaming live on YouTube.
You're gonna break up with me because of what I do on the radio?
Here's Theo Dorsey.
Good people. Happy Hump Day here on Theoretically Speaking. You have now entered the happy hour, and yes, a button has came off on the shorts, on the shirt, excuse me. The shorts are fully buttoned up. My pants are on. You let the bosses know that, let HR know that, and please tell my wife. My pants are fully on, but yes, a button has came down because I'm having a good time, good vibes on the happy hour. C-Cat on the ones and twos on the other side of the glass, and former NBA vet Gary Forbes in with us to talk more hoops. And yes, I promise you, Gary, my pants are on. That was a misstep. It was a mistake. It was a mistake on my bad. We're good. We're good.
Like the one thing you shouldn't have to say in an interview is, "I promise you, my pants are on." That's an indication things went awry.
Gary's never coming back. He's like, yeah, I don't know what it was. Everything was cool until Theo started slipping out of his pants somehow in the happy hour, quote unquote. No. I appreciate you pulling up. The NBA season obviously tipped off last night. We saw the LeBron and Bronny make history. First father-son duo to play in the NBA. We saw also before that, we saw the reigning champions after they did their banner night and everything and got ring 18. We saw them absolutely obliterate the New York Knicks. Gary, you're from the Northeast.
Yes.
Were you raised a Knicks fan?
No, I never really had a favorite team. I always just had favorite players. Obviously, the Jordan era. I was a Michael Jordan, Chicago Bulls fan.
Yeah.
Penny Hardaway, those kind of guys. But never ever been a Knicks fan, and I hope nobody hates me for that. But
I mean, hey,
the only New York team I ever root for is the Yankees, man. And we're in the World Series.
There you go.
Let's
go. There you go. He got the Yankees cap on. He brought the Yankees cap. My bad. I ain't even peeping, man. You had the lid popped up on us. Plus, you're 6'7", so you can't really see what's on the front of your hat. Gary, the Yankees in the World Series.
Yep.
Were you pulling for it to be the Mets, or are you happy it's the Dodgers because you have the two big brands coast to coast?
You can't really root for another New York team. It's only Yankees, but it wouldn't.
You could have beat them on the world stage.
Yeah. But it's. I think everybody wanted a Yankees Dodgers matchup. But it would have been cool to see another Subway Series.
C-Cat was rooting for the Mets to be in there. He's a Yankees fan as well.
Mm-hmm.
He's from upstate New York. I had to give that qualifier. Are you mad that I gave that qualifier?
Yeah, you didn't have to.
I didn't need to.
If it was asked, he was like, "Hey, what borough?" I'd be like, "Oh, about an hour and a half north of the city."
It's fair.
Whenever you have to give a distance,
exactly.
From it, it's like, all right,
it's a commute.
Take the Greyhound bus there on my internship one time.
But C-Cat wanted the Mets, and I think it was more so you could tease Mets fans in your life.
Yeah, a lot of Mets fans in life. That group chat will be lit on fire if it was a Yankees-Mets World Series. But I cried on the way to work yesterday because I watched a pump-up video for the Yankees. And you know what? I relived that Saturday night win in the ALCS again. So I'm excited, man. People don't understand that aren't Yankees fans.
Yeah, we don't.
They don't understand the trials and tribulations that our fan base goes through.
Really? Oh, it must be so hard.
Right, man.
How many World Series titles y'all got again?
We got 27.
Yeah.
About to go for 28 this year.
Must be so damn hard. That's the one thing I pity the Celtics fan who just got their 18th and they just celebrated that. I mean, it gets heavy, I guess, carrying all those trophies around. And y'all with 27. Come on, Gary. Please ridicule him for crying about the Yankees making it to the World Series.
No, it's been a long road back, and every year that we don't make it is an issue.
Thank you.
It's not worth
no ridicule.
Tears just to make I can see crying when your team wins the championship. But crying because your team made the championship when you've already seen them make it and win it is crazy.
You wouldn't understand it. You got to be a Yankees
fan.
Oh,
my God.
Yeah.
I got you.
Thank you.
This is crazy. All right, that's cool. He's going to tease you about your cliches when you're gone, by the way. So
not happening.
Yeah, he's going to. Gary Forbes here, former NBA player, current basketball coach here in the area and trainer. And also, Gary, we talked about it before the break. You said one of 3 players to play in the NBA with type 1 diabetes. Just before we get into your book, because I do want you to get into that. It's special. It's for children, and it's empowering for kids who need it. I'm curious, as an athlete, how does type 1 diabetes and being diagnosed with that prevent you from being able to play at your highest level? Because I believe you got a late diagnosis, right?
Yeah. I was diagnosed at 19 after my freshman year at UVA. And, to answer that question, it doesn't. There's obviously a stigma behind it. I remember when I was diagnosed, the doctor kind of said, "Hey, Gary, you might need to put basketball to the side and just worry about your education." And luckily for me, I had a father who was, big on optimism, big on, doubt your doubts before you doubt your faith. Another cliche.
Hey, have you heard that one, C-Cat? Doubt your doubts before you doubt your faith.
Nope, another first timer. We're on a roll.
Yeah, you're killing it right now, man. Killing it.
I remember that day and going back to my dorm and looking myself in the mirror, and I was like, all right, I have type 1 diabetes. How do I still, make Plan A work? Plan A is to make Plan A work. Plan B all the way to Z is to make Plan A work. So I got to figure it out. And I did. I always had a dream, and I knew that my own ego purpose was to play in the NBA, and I did that.
Yeah, you did that, and you. It wasn't like it was an easy route. Again, you had to go through several different ways, and one of those stops was Houston.
Yes,
one of those stops was Houston, which you said you loved.
Yeah, I love Houston. Love Houston.
The crib. That's the crib.
Love the weather. Love the food. Love the people. Everything.
The people. Yeah, the people.
Yeah, it's
vibes. We know. Yeah, it was vibes. It's good vibes in Houston, man. We can say it without saying it. It's a great place to be, especially like I was saying for Gary. Like I loved being in Houston just as a normal guy, as a professional athlete. I'm sure it was a great time for you as well. Mm-hmm. We don't have to get into the detail. What I am curious to you about is I don't see it with the Boston Celtics being able to be a team that, again, when I look at all the teams in the history of the league, you mentioned those Bulls. We had the Warriors as of late, the Heat with the big three, the Lakers in the early 2000s, a team that's able to repeat as NBA champions. But then I saw last night in the parade of threes they rained on the Knicks and everything, and I'm like, maybe it is possible, but I can't bring myself to that conclusion. For you, do you think they have it in them to actually repeat in this NBA season?
I mean, I think they have a really good shot. I mean, it's they're the favorites right now, but I think that the league is kind of everyone has their star duo or trios, and I think it's kind of like it's evenly matched all around the league. You got Milwaukee with Giannis and Dame. Miami always just
they're gonna be there.
Yeah, they're always gonna be there. There's a lot of good teams. The Knicks got with Cat. They're pretty. I mean, they did get.
I was about to say they kind of abused Cat. Yeah. They were using him to get some of those threes because they were putting them in rotations and whatnot.
Yeah, I mean, but it'll get time. It'll take time for them to get acclimated with one another, and who knows what moves they make in the by All-Star break. But I think the league is in a good place with these teams and these players, and Boston definitely is the heavy favorite right now after they showed last night. So we'll see.
Yeah, and for you, Gary, you're training a lot of people. Just one last thing before I get into, because you're new to Palm Beach County.
Yep.
You came here, what, 4 or 5 months ago?
4 or 5 months ago.
And as you provide basketball training and whatnot for people, we have to get you acclimated with the main things that shake out here and the big events you want to be at. So I do want to tell you about an event that annually is here in South Florida, specifically Palm Beach Gardens. And that's the Cognizant Classic in the Palm Beaches. Now, you were in Miami before, so you've been in Florida for 4 years. Yeah. Have you brought out the golf clubs yet? Are you a golfer?
What's crazy? One of my friends, he took me to the Breakers.
Yeah.
2 weekends ago.
C-Cat, you never bring me to the Breakers.
I know, I'm a bad friend.
That's crazy.
I'm not good at golf yet, but I'm addicted now because I didn't play that well. So and I heard that happen. So I was really, really, really tough on myself, and luckily I have a golf simulator in our apartment building, so I was there all night shooting shots.
He's just stunting and flexing all over. Got the golf simulator in the building.
That's nice.
My friends are bringing me to the Breakers. Well, you know what? To pay back that friend, you need to bring him to the Cognizant Classic in the Palm Beaches. You might not have heard of it yet, but you're about to find out now. It's the PGA Tour that comes to town annually here in Palm Beach Gardens. It's at PGA National Resort and Spa out in Gardens. Have you heard PGA National?
Yeah, I've heard it.
Amazing course. Great hospitality set up there. And they actually have new VIP experiences that await everybody here for the Cognizant Classic in the Palm Beaches. It's February 27th through March 2nd. You don't have to mark your calendars. I'll text those dates to you because you're going to want to lock in on it and watch the pros do it. You can leave the clubs at home. You're going to want to sit back and get a drink and watch them do it.
What are we in right now? It's
October, yeah. You got a few months.
I could be a pro by then.
Oh, my. Absolutely not, Gary. See, that's the problem. You touch them clubs one time and you're like, well, you know what? I think all you got to do is put it in the hole.
Yeah.
Yeah. Absolutely not. But if you do want to hang out as a fan and as a spectator, there's new activations, the Shoreline Suites. You can mingle with friends and family at the 1909 Terrace, or you can treat yourself to the ultimate VIP week at the Yellow Flamingo Club. Again, secure your spot now. Put yourself on that list to get tickets, cognizantclassic.com. That's cognizantclassic.com. And I do feel bad. I mean, who am I to tell a former professional athlete that you couldn't do it again in a new sport? But I'm going to look you in your eye, Gary, and tell you ain't doing it. Ain't gonna happen.
All right.
Not at least not by next year.
You're right. Let me put my 10,000 hours in.
Yeah, unless you're cheating like CCAT assumes Sauce Gardner, cornerback for the Jets, who picked up golf last year.
Yeah, he picked it up during the offseason and now says that he's like a 9 handicap.
Right.
You know what? You don't have to lie about your handicap. I'm not a fan of that.
It's a lie. It's a lie.
Even professional athletes. I know it's a different wired human being, but that golf club will humble anybody.
Yeah.
Yes.
But you were a shooter though.
Yes. Definitely a shooter.
One thing that we have realized is that deep shooters, like long-range shooters and people that are just equipped in basketball to shoot well, have translated well to the golf game. So you...
Yeah, I was told by one of the instructors. It was like, man, you have a good golf swing. And I'm like, man, this is my first day out here.
Wow. What a flex.
Dang.
What a flex.
Just saying.
On your first day, they said you had a good golf swing?
Day. I mean, I watched, I literally, the night before I watched some YouTube videos of Tiger Woods, and I was like, all right, I can do this.
What did you just say?
Well, that's the difference between guys like you and me, Theo. Like, what?
What the hell did you watched videos of Tiger Woods?
Yeah, I watched a couple YouTube videos of Tiger Woods, and I'm a visual learner. If I could see something once or twice, I'm like, all right, I think I could do this.
That's awesome.
I thought I was confident. Yeah. I thought I had a lot of confidence. I've never watched a video of Tiger Woods do something and then be like, yeah, let me go get the clubs.
Oh, he just drops the elbow right there. Oh, and the ball goes 350 yards. Oh, okay. It's so simple when you put it that way.
Yeah. He kept his eyes down on that one. I just got to do that next time. Yeah. One of my friends, the first time we brought him out for golfing, speaking of being inspired by Tiger Woods, we brought him out. His first time out there, he did not have a great swing, by the way. It looked really bad. The funniest part about it was he dressed up like Tiger Woods. Mm-hmm. He wore the black pants, the red polo, and the black hat like he was Tiger Woods on a Sunday. He wore that Sunday red. And shout out my guy. He might be listening right now, so he might be mad at me for telling that story. But the same way that you saw Tiger and you said, I could do that,
right?
He said he could do that. He dressed for the job he wanted. And then he proceeded to almost get it kicked off that golf course because he was hacking it up. Yeah. So
he had the first part down. If you look good, you feel good, you play good. He probably looked good.
Hold on. CCAT, have you heard that one?
Yeah, I've heard that one.
Gary,
that was my bad.
Come on, man. You got to keep it fresh, dog. I told you if you're going to bring out cliches on Theoretically Speaking, CCAT is going to jump on you. Now, I don't know if I'm going to be able to get you out of here safely. Gary Forbes, former NBA player, current trainer, and also a guy who is inspiring the youth by the mission that you have right now, which is partially motivated by your own journey when you were diagnosed with type 1 diabetes, but it expands. It's deeper than that, right? With your book and your brand?
Yeah, so much deeper than that. The title of the comic platform is Soul Survivors. It's kind of like a play on words, soul being the only one, because I was usually the only one on my team who was, diagnosed with a kind of health condition. Mm-hmm. And, being a type 1 diabetic, being through so many different, experiences, I towards the end of my career, I'm trying to think, all right, like, what's my purpose?
Yeah.
Could have easily went and tried to coach college basketball or go the NBA route and be a NBA skills development trainer, but I knew that my journey, my life experience was much more bigger than that, and to find my purpose into inspiring, people of all walks of life with health challenges, that they can do, great things. And I think there's millions of people who have, health conditions that do great things, whether it be type 1 diabetes, cancer, autism, you name it, all these different type of health challenges. So, I created a comic book platform inspired by X-Men. I loved X-Men growing up. So
yeah, you got the shirt on too. Yeah, people that's watching on YouTube. I got the
Soul Survivor shirt on.
Yeah,
I always tell people it's kind of like the real life X-Men. The X-Men were mutants.
Right.
These children have health challenges, but they're superheroes, and their goal is to try to find a cure for these different health challenges. And I've created so many different, kind of like a Marvel universe of different characters that, they have these health challenges, and they basically go through everyday struggles of whatever their health challenge is, and they're, trying to overcome them. Like I did.
Yeah, and that for people, I put the website on the YouTube chat, soulsurvivors.com. You have books as well to go along with the merch.
Volume 1 and Volume 2. Volume 3 set to come out for next month for Diabetes Awareness Month. Selling it as a trilogy, so it's on the site. Definitely hit up the site and get the trilogy. And I've written 16 volumes so far. Three are published.
You got active with the pen.
Yeah. The goal is 42 and more. The goal actually is to be a New York Times bestseller. I already written that down, so it's going to happen. I'm big on those.
Well, you've read J.K. Rowling, so you read that and you were like, I can do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's your strategy. But you know what? As much as I'm like, you know what? It seems to be working for you.
Yeah.
Who was the NBA player that had you, where you watched him and you were like, all right, I'll just do that?
Michael Jordan.
Yeah.
Michael Jordan. I remember I moved from I'm born in Panama. I moved over here when I was like 3 or 4 years old, and my brother put on NBA on NBC, and I watched the game, and I was like, all right, that's what I want to do.
That's awesome.
And you did it.
And I did it.
And you did it. That's why I'm like, you know what? Let me stop, making a joke out of it, because the dude really will go out and do it. And you might do it in spite of me because I laughed at the dream that you just said. So maybe we will be watching you in the Cognizant Classic. We definitely will be tapping into soulsurvivors.com and checking out your books. Now, from all of the years that you had playing professional basketball, can you recall one story specifically? Because you had a different type of journey than the guys that people, typically watch on a daily basis. One of them that I think about is, I'm curious, where were you on the day and how did you receive the news that you would be traded from the Raptors to the Rockets for a first-round pick and maybe one of the greatest Toronto Raptors of all time in Kyle Lowry?
Yes.
Where were you? How'd you find out about that trade?
Well, one, I think
2012.
I think Toronto owes me a championship ring. Just like on the.
Come on. You did. You were the reason why they got the championship ring.
See? Now you exactly. Now we speaking.
Have you hit them up about this? Because we can work our line. If it weren't for you in that first round pick, they never get Kyle Lowry.
Right. I was actually at a Chinese store ordering, and
did you think
a Chinese store or a Chinese restaurant?
We in New York we say Chinese store, Chinese restaurant.
I'm not a real New Yorker.
Wow. Wow. That is great. His card has been pulled so many times. Just last week, he tried to do a New Yorker accent, and our phone lines lit up with people ridiculing him.
Dead ass me. He doesn't know. Facts.
Yeah, I was ordering, and
he didn't even realize you were doing a New York accent just then. That was it. That was part of it.
I did.
Chopped cheese.
Chopped cheese. Yeah, you're right.
Exactly.
Okay, so wait. So this is your. Do you have any clue that the Raptors are even shopping you?
I have no clue. I'm like, all right. Didn't have. I had a really good year, and my rookie year in Denver. Was getting acclimated to new coaching staff and whole new system in Toronto. Younger team, but I definitely didn't think I was going to get traded because I came out that summer, had a really good summer playing all these. During I think it was a lockout year, playing all these different tournaments, and I'm killing all summer. So I'm like, all right, this is a big year for me. And me and my boy, we're at the Chinese restaurant.
Thank you.
You gotta dumb it down for the non-New Yorkers in here. Yeah.
We're at the Chinese restaurant. I'm ordering, and my boy tasked me, and we're looking at the bottom line. It's like Gary Forbes gets traded with the first round pick, and I'm like, call my agent right there. He's like, yeah, man, we're going to Houston.
What?
Yeah.
So you legit you found out on TV? I'm guessing it was like ESPN or something.
Yeah, I was watching. They were watching ESPN. They had it on, at the Chinese spot, and
that don't make sense.
It doesn't.
By the time it hits the TV screen, I think the people involved should probably know. I can see it, like Twitter nowadays. I get it, because the information just rushes out. By the time somebody is able to type it into a Chiron graphic, spell check it all, get it on the ticker, you should be able to be made aware of it. Did they ever call you? Did the Raptors call you at any point?
I had to go there and get some stuff in. They
never told you.
Yeah, it was kind of like a bad departure. But
what do you mean? What happened there?
They got a good player, but I don't know.
You ain't like how it went down.
Yeah. I didn't have the. Going from a 60-win playoff team in Denver to losing every other night in Toronto, it's kind of a big difference.
Yeah.
And I wasn't really didn't really like that too much. Wasn't a real party guy during those that losing season. So I was used to winning and then going out, not losing and then going out.
So you were kind of happy that the Raptors traded you to Houston.
Yeah. I was ready. I was happy. I was kind of happy, and it's less taxes.
There you go.
Toronto, we had to pay the double fines over there.
Yeah, I didn't even think about that too. Yeah, you're literally like in a different country, even though you were born in Panama, so you're worldly. And then you get to Houston, and at that point, you were like, you know what? One day, because of that transaction, the Raptors are going to win a ring, and you deserve to get compensated for it.
Yeah, definitely.
So we're going to make sure that I think, did Kyle Lowry get his jersey? Is he getting his jersey retired?
Yeah, I think he's getting his jersey retired.
I think that might be happening this year.
Yep.
So maybe that'll be the day that we hit up PR and we say, yeah, and before y'all get that jersey in the Raptors, remember how y'all got there. And I will say, maybe what happened was you played too well that summer.
That's what it was.
You drove your value up.
That's what it was.
The Rockets,
all right, we got to get him.
Yeah, the Rockets wanted you. So no, I appreciate you reliving that with us, and also I appreciate you shouting out your brand and how people can get in touch with you. SoulSurvivors.com. Again, Gary Forbes, former
the Soul Survivors.
Oh, thesoulsurvivors.com. Excuse me, thesoulsurvivors.com, and it is a book that can inspire children who are, it can really inspire any kid,
anyone. But it's a platform, man. I think it's just a mindset and overall way of feeling and being. I think the experiences of all these children in this comic book series is going to inspire the world, and have big plans for much more than just the comic series. I want to create a cartoon, merchandise, partnerships with hospitals, toys, and the end goal for the Soul Survivors platform is a theme park.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
And you're in Florida.
Yep. So, they have the Make-A-Wish Foundation, but to have a theme park that's geared and especially for children with chronic health conditions and that can be there to create this inclusive world, I think is something that could be one of one.
That's going to be great. And we're looking forward to the New York Times bestseller accolade as well. And we're still going to be working on that with the Raptors too. So don't worry. We got your back.
Need my ring.
Gary Forbes joining us here on Theoretically Speaking. That's CCAT. Before we go on the other side and we let Gary get back to his duties of getting that school right, getting that middle school team right to make sure that they can ball out, we do want to we're going to call for you to give your picks on the other side of who do you have as the favorite to win the NBA title after you saw what the Celtics did last night, Celtics or the field. Hit us up on the Baptist Health Hotline, 888-760-3776, 888-760-3776. That's the number to the Baptist Health Hotline. Is joint pain affecting your quality of life? At Baptist Health Orthopedic Care, our team is experienced in traditional joint replacement surgery, as well as new, less invasive treatments with the goal of returning you to what you love as quickly as possible. Learn more by visiting baptisthealth.net/ortho today. Baptist Health Orthopedic Care combines its resources of experienced physicians and leading-edge treatments and technology to provide advanced orthopedic, foot and ankle, joint replacement, spine, and sports medicine care. Visit baptisthealth.net/ortho for more information today. Baptist Health Orthopedic Care has offices conveniently located in Palm Beach County through the Florida Keys. Learn more by visiting baptisthealth.net/ortho. Thank you for your time, Gary. Cat, stick around with us. We are Theoretically Speaking on ESPN 106.3.
Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios. Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 1-800-747-FREE. This is ESPN 106.3.
ESPN West Palm is highlighting the best performance of the week, presented by Baptist Health Orthopedic Care. Every week, a different team will be featured across ESPN 106.3 and ESPN West Palm Play. The winning performance receives $500, courtesy of Baptist Health Orthopedic Care. Do you know a team, player, or school with a killer performance? Nominate them by emailing highschool@espnwestpalm.com. Baptist Health Orthopedic Care. Go where the pros go.
VIP experiences await at South Florida's only PGA Tour event. The Cognizant Classic in the Palm Beaches is upping the golf game. February 27th through March 2nd with new luxury hospitality venues. Host colleagues and clients at the Shoreline Suites. Mingle with friends and family in the 1909 Terrace. Or treat yourself to the ultimate VIP week at the Yellow Flamingo Club. Limited spots remain. Inquire now at thecognizantclassic.com.
Mark your calendars and gear up for game day. This Sunday, October 27th, join Bud Light and the ESPN West Palm Street Team at Recovery Sports Bar in Port St. Lucie. Catch the action as the Cardinals face off against the Miami Dolphins from 2 to 4 p.m. Showcase your football skills for a chance to qualify for Dolphins tickets. Enjoy $20 Bud Light buckets while you cheer on the Fins. Must be 21 or older to participate. Southern Eagle reminds you to please drink responsibly.
Good Greek moving and storage. Your superhero movers.
It's the Good Greek Spiro. For the best move ever, go to goodgreek.com.
Good Greek moving and storage. Your superhero movers.
Fight fans, make Twin Peaks your UFC fight headquarters. The official fight headquarters is Twin Peaks. Never, ever a cover. All fight organizations, all boxing, doesn't matter. Never pay to watch the fights. Plus, eat, drink, scenic views, and Twin Peaks 29-degree ice-cold beer made from scratch favorites while watching all the fights. And did I say never pay a cover? That's Twin Peaks, Pembroke Pines, Cypress Creek, Hollywood, Davie, and of course, Palm Beach Lakes Boulevard in West Palm Beach. Your ultimate UFC fight headquarters, Twin Peaks.
Time now for a PNC pause. PNC Bank is committed to making a difference in the lives of the customers they serve in the South Florida community. See how at pnc.com. You're listening to ESPN 1063.
Theo here. EDS is yes. You've heard me say that over and over. So I need you to keep this website in mind too. EDSisyes.com. For the most trusted AC specialist here in Palm Beach County, EDSisyes.com. For 24/7 support, EDS is a trained comfort specialist. It's hard to stop a train. There are so many reasons why EDS is yes when it comes to your air conditioning and plumbing. EDSisyes.com. That's EDSisyes.com. Calling all sports fans, grab your MVP card and head to Duffy's where you can catch all of the action. Not an MVP? Sign up for free and start earning rewards today. Duffy's is voted the best sports grill year after year with their award-winning burgers and wings. Don't forget about Duffy's famous 2-for-1 drinks all day, every day. And with over 80 TVs in every location, you'll never miss a minute of the game. Visit Duffy'sMVP.com to learn more. Duffy's, our game is always on.
Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios, Theo Dorsey is theoretically speaking. Streaming live on YouTube, here's Theo Dorsey.
I woke up and DeAndre Hopkins was wide receiver 1 for my team. That feels good. That feels good. The Chiefs three-peat is on the way. Thanks to Brett Veach striking the deal. The latest in the arms race in the AFC as teams try and stack up for a playoff run. And they're chasing championships. They're chasing the ultimate goal, and that's what we're used to at Kaiser University, right? Like, C-Cat, you said, I mean, are we talking golf today? We're talking championships, right?
We're talking championships.
Exactly. Because the Seahawks, that's what they do. I mean, and I wouldn't be surprised if they contended for one in golf this year. 22 national titles all time for the Seahawks in the NAIA. And KUSeahawks.com is where you can go for the latest on Kaiser Athletics.
So they're great on the field academically with their student athletes. We saw their football team win NAIA National Championship last year. They're on their way to do it again. Fingers crossed. Number 1 ranked team, undefeated. We all know that. But you get your golf game right actually at Kaiser, don't you?
And that's the thing, though, too. So, like, that's the beauty of Kaiser. When you go there and you're in the midst of champions, you're inspired when you see that football team practicing, or maybe you walk in the gym and you see those banners hanging down. You're like, you know what? I want to train like a pro. And thankfully, to get to the indoor facility that's 2,000 square feet and that has 3 different hitting bays where you can work with your coach individually or in group settings. Again, KaiserGolfCenter.com to train up your golf game. You have to walk into the gymnasium to get there. So when you're walking on your route to the golf center indoors, you'll see the red banners hanging from the gym, and count them yourself. I don't know if they got all 22 up there, but count them yourself. 22 national championships. That'll inspire you. Also, they got the driving range outside, the putting green, and you can work on every single element of your game with some of the best coaches in the area. KaiserGolfCenter.com. That's where you can tune up your golf game. Maybe our friend Gary Forbes, former NBA vet, former UMass, like just bucket getter. Maybe that's where he can work towards his golf game to get ready.
I think when you break 90, they're going to hang a banner for you at Kaiser Golf Center.
They better.
Like, that will be a championship performance, which they do day in and day out there with the Kaiser Golf Center.
They better. They better. And my name is already on one banner hanging in a gymnasium in Southwest Houston, Mo City, Texas. and I would love to have my name on another.
So were you like your name's in the banner, not
name.
a team you were on?
My name.
Were you like a 1,000-point scorer?
No.
Or what was this? What's the deal?
Championship.
Oh, so they put all the players' names
Yeah, it was
on?
basketball, so you get you can get all 12 up there.
I have my name on a tile in the men's locker room.
I thought you were going to say restroom.
In high school. They put all the managers of the basketball teams in the past that won a section championship. The players get the big tiles, like the big brick tiles. I get the small little tiles.
Okay.
But I'm still up there.
Does it say Christian Cat?
Yeah.
That's pretty nice.
Exactly. And it's gold for the championship, the two championships that we won.
I mean, hey, I was ready to make fun of you for this, but every basketball team needs a manager, number one.
Mm-hmm.
And y'all won section. You could have been the manager for the team that went winless, you know?
Exactly. I was chirping all the players on the opposite teams that we beat that were rivals online afterwards, and would get big fights on the bus ride home.
Yeah.
So, like, I worked hard. Like, I was all in on that Chester basketball team.
Somebody had to be, and leave it to my guy, C-Cat, to step in where nobody else was ready to fill that void. Theoretically speaking, here on ESPN 106.3. If you missed any of that with Gary Forbes, you can check us out on YouTube at Theo Speaking, the YouTube stream presented by Prize Picks. You can also listen back anywhere you get podcast, Theoretically Speaking. We had Evan Cohen on earlier, and as we move forward into the happy hour, it's time for us to, let's just say, take a ride.
I get around. What you mean you don't know? Round and round. Check it go. I get around.
The Get Around is presented by EDS Air Conditioning and Plumbing, EDSisyes.com, and it is our vehicle to hit the biggest topics and headlines across the nation. So, where are we going first?
Next stop. Going to Boston, Massachusetts, because the Celtics tied the NBA three-point record with 29 three balls with 8:50 left in the game. They proceeded to miss 13 in a row in their blowout win over the Knicks, so they finished with 29.
That's a microcosm of what the Celtics season is going to look like. They're going to look prolific. They are going to be front runners. Jason Tatum is going to be dropping 40 balls. Jaylen Brown is going to be pounding his chest, getting big defensive stops. You're going to see Derek White making hustle plays. Joe Mazzulla is going to have a lot of great quotables. You can tell already he's loving the spotlight. He's living in it. But then when it comes down to the end, and all of y'all have loaded up on the favorites and feel like it's the Celtics versus the field, they're going to repeat as champions. They're going to fail to get the job done. Now, the hole in my game right now is I have absolutely no clue who's going to beat them. They are an avalanche, but I'm just using my perspective, my basketball eyes. I know what a team looks like that can repeat in this NBA. I know what those Warriors were like. I saw that dynasty. I know what the big three Heatles were like. I know what the Lakers were like back then. This ain't that. This is absolutely not that. The Celtics don't have it in them. They don't have the will. They don't have the star power. They do not have the confidence from me that they can repeat. So I guarantee you it ain't happening, and it's going to be just like that. 13 misses in a row.
Next stop. We're going to the Bronx, New York, the home of the New York Yankees, who are the representatives in the World Series from the American League. Well, Brian Cashman, he's the general manager of the Yankees. He hopped on with station father-in-law, Mad Dog Chris Russo, and contends the Yankees, they did not break a 15-year AL championship drought.
Hold on, before we hear from Cashman, station father-in-law.
Yeah.
Chris Mad Dog Russo.
Yes.
Does that work?
I think it does.
I get it. It works because Colin is our stepbrother, technically, through the marriage that we have with ESPN West Palm.
Yeah.
Or brother-in-law, excuse me. He's our brother-in-law. And since that's his father, that would be our
Professionally, it's like polygamy here at ESPN West Palm. Like, it's not just your company is only yours. It's our company. We're in a marriage with our company together. You are with ESPN West Palm. I am with ESPN West Palm. So,
because Colin from Russo and Rizzo is the actual son of, I get it. It makes sense, but we'll have to workshop it. What did Brian Cashman say?
15 years is a long time. I know this is a crapshoot, but even for the Yankees, that's a little long.
It means a lot, and I hate the 15-year thing because it completely forgets and discounts that some other organization cheated us when we were all the way in the end. If you knew what was going on, I don't think they would be advancing during that time thing. I think we would have been advancing. So I hate that 15-year thing because I don't think it accurately reflects history.
Damn right.
Line it up and beat them. Like, why are you... First of all, keep the Astros name out your mouth. He was smart to not say it. He said organization. He kept it vague because he knew better. You come to Houston with that noise and boys going to show you. Don't you let us get near a trash can. We're going to bang on it. And you next. Also, I will say this. We don't know if the Yankees would have beat the Astros if they were playing fair anyways because the Astros made it back to the World Series without banging on the trash cans.
No, completely.
We don't know.
I'm so happy Brian Cashman did this because if you stop acknowledging that 2017 should be thrown out the window because of the cheaters winning the World Series, and in doing so invalidates all of their accomplishments in 2017, then it kind of gets forgotten in history. If you stop talking about it, it never happened.
How many Super Bowls did Tom Brady win cheating? At least 2, and we probably didn't know about the other times he didn't get caught.
There is nothing in sports apart from point shaving that is the level of cheating that the Astros did with relaying signs from the dugout to the batter's box through technology with the camera in center field. There is nothing in sports history apart from purposely throwing games for gambling reasons that compares to that.
So sad. Maybe that's why you cried. You're still sad and all swept up in the fact that the Astros tapped that ass and you're never going to get that pennant back from the boys.
Next stop.
Here's a curveball for you, Theo. I don't think you saw this yet, but we're going to Green Bay, Wisconsin because recently fired Jets coach Robert Saleh, he's at Packers practice today. Apparently, there's a long relationship between him and Matt LaFleur, and we're going to wait till after practice to hear whether or not LaFleur hired a recently fired Jets coach at some capacity.
I would have loved this more if it was in division with the Jets. This is news to me, and I'm happy for Saleh because he did not deserve to lose his job because Aaron Rodgers was stinking up the joint and Nate Hackett couldn't coach. It is ironic that now Saleh is at Nate Hackett's old stop and Aaron Rodgers is old stop. Well, if the Packers, if Robert Saleh joins that staff and the Packers win the Super Bowl, Aaron Rodgers is no longer allowed to be a first ballot Hall of Famer. He's got to wait till the next year.
The amount of bleep talking that's going to go on there behind closed doors between Saleh and LaFleur about Aaron Rodgers.
Crazy, bro.
An incredible amount of talking behind his back.
Do they play this year? Can you check and see if they will play this year or not? And I'll tell you all about our next stop, which is in Boca Raton.
Stop.
And that is the Boca Raton Bowl. It's Palm Beach County's premier college football event, and it's back this year. Mark your calendars right now, Wednesday, December 18th from FAU Stadium, the 2024 Boca Raton Bowl. It's going to broadcast live on ESPN. Last year, of course, we saw USF laid a smackdown on Syracuse out of the ACC. What will this year's game have for us? Big names, big teams, and big action. The 2024 Boca Raton Bowl, December 18th from FAU Stadium on ESPN. You're not going to want to miss this one. Find out more, BocaRatonBowl.com. Do they play this year, C-Cat?
They don't.
Damn.
They do not, unfortunately. There's no Packers-Jets game on the calendar.
And, Saleh was, again, he made a point of saying this. He was in the quarterback room and the meetings often and early this year, all throughout the time through camp and his firing. So he's got some insight into what the Jets are trying to do. I absolutely love this. I hope if the Packers aren't hiring him, another team does, and he's able to exact some revenge. Well, that was the get around. That was it right there. It's great stuff. That was a good drop right there.
Yeah.
That's a great one.
Saleh, Green Bay is far away from New York. Is that fair to say? That's a flight.
Yeah.
He took a full flight to go help out the Packers just 2 weeks. Yeah, 2 weeks after he got fired from the Jets.
And I would also assume too, like he's not from Green Bay. Like, why else would you be in Green Bay if not to go to Lambeau?
It's not easy to get to Green Bay either. It's not. Like, it's not a major city. You got to go there, then rent a car and drive out to Green Bay.
You can fly.
You can. There's an airport at Green Bay. I didn't know that. Never been to Green Bay. Have you flown into Green Bay?
Yes, I've flown into Green Bay. I had a job interview back there a few years ago, back when I was doing the TV thing. And by the way, they had to be some idiots for this. They flew me out there trying to lure me into this sports anchor job, which I did kind of want because I would have been able to cover the Packers, but they flew me out there in February.
And chilly.
They knew I'm from Houston, and it was like not just chilly. They were coming off of like a huge ice storm. It was like snow all on the ground. It was like almost negative degrees. I was like, there's no way I'm pulling back up here.
No.
I've never been back. That was a get around. We didn't touch on one thing that is major at Kaseya Center tonight. The Heat tipping off the season against the Magic in a way where it's not just going to be ceremonious to start the year. It's also going to be ceremonious because Pat Riley is getting his court dedication, his 30th year with the franchise, his 30th year in hashtag Heat culture. On the other side, I'll give some prize picks plays of the day for you to pick out to hit more or less on for the Heat Magic game because I know that Spo is going to have those guys ready for tonight. C-Cat, that and more on the other side. We're Theoretically Speaking on ESPN 106.3.
Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios. Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 1-800-747-FREE. This is ESPN 106.3.
Hey, Colin Russo here, and this is your Miami Dolphins Minute. Well, the Fins suffered yet another loss coming off the bye week at a 16-10 slugfest with the Indianapolis Colts in Indy. This was not the pretty type of game you'd hope for on an NFL Sunday due to another set of injuries hitting the Dolphins. Quarterback Tyler Huntley went down in the second half with an injury to his throwing shoulder. Tim Boyle finished the game. Well, on the bright side of things, the defense was stingy, holding the Colts to under 300 total yards, and quarterback Anthony Richardson to 129 yards passing. Quarterback Tua Tagovailoa is set to return to practice this week from a concussion, shaping up for a return to the field next Sunday against the Cardinals. We'll see if Tua can help turn around the Dolphins' problematic 2-4 start to the season. That was your Miami Dolphins Minute presented by Hard Rock Bet, Florida's official sportsbook. For the first time ever in Florida, bet on the Dolphins all season long. Try Hard Rock Bet now and receive up to $100 back in bonus bets if your first bet does not win. It's offered by the Seminole Tribe of Florida. Must be 21 plus and physically present in Florida to wager. Terms and conditions apply. Concerned about gambling? Call 1-888-ADMIT-IT.
The Palm Beach Health Network Physician Group, an affiliate of the Palm Beach Health Network, is committed to delivering high-quality care to the communities they serve. Their award-winning physicians and specialists provide a level of expertise that has resulted in regional firsts and outstanding patient outcomes. For a physician referral, call 866-654-2362. To learn more about the Palm Beach Health Network Physician Group, visit pbhnphysiciangroup.com, pbhnphysiciangroup.com to get in touch with the Palm Beach Health Network Physician Group.
Batter up, swing, batter, batter, swing, batter, batter.
This one is for all the marbles. World Series week on ESPN 106.3 is presented by PNC Bank. PNC Bank is committed to making a difference in the lives of the customers they serve in the South Florida community. See how at PNC.com. World Series week on ESPN 106.3 is also presented by Bradley Heating and Air Conditioning, Hard Rock Bet, the Boca Raton Bowl, Roger Dean Chevrolet Stadium, and Twin Peaks.
Calling all sports fans, grab your MVP card and head to Duffy's where you can catch all of the action. Not an MVP? Sign up for free and start earning rewards today. Duffy's is voted the best sports grill year after year with their award-winning burgers and wings. Don't forget about Duffy's famous 2-for-1 drinks all day, every day. And with over 80 TVs in every location, you'll never miss a minute of the game. Visit Duffy'sMVP.com to learn more. Duffy's, our game is always on.
Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios, Theo Dorsey is Theoretically Speaking. Streaming live on YouTube, here's Theo Dorsey.
Some call it October, others call it Sportstober, but this is the month, not just for spooky season, but also where sports literally take over. We just crowned the WNBA champion. We literally are on the precipice of finding out who's going to win the World Series. C-Cat and I think it's going to be the Yankees. And, of course, the NHL has started. The NBA tipped off last night. NFL is still going on. College football, my head. How can I figure out what is on and when and where to watch it at, C-Cat?
It's impossible. I don't think there's any way to do that.
Until ESPN came out with this great feature, and I think I'm not just saying this as somebody that works with the four letters behind my back right here. If you're looking on the YouTube stream, of course, we work for ESPN. Where to watch, the feature that they have, not just on ESPN.com, but also on the app, is I'm surprised it took anybody this long to launch something like this. So here's the way it works. If you access where to watch, either on the app or on the .com, it will literally show you all of the sporting events going on, not just for this day, but for the days in the future. And it tells you which network or service you can watch them on. Also, for select partners, and especially anything that's on ESPN or ESPN Plus, it's a one-click access. So it'll tell you, hey, you want to watch this game? Insert game here. Here's how to watch it. And you have the choice to just click right there. It's a 2-click. So now you don't have to Google search it and then go through that weird article that's also giving you betting lines. And it gives you like 8 paragraphs. You know what I'm talking about,
Yes,
CK.
you're scrolling through ads and all that. No.
Every time. That is the most aggravating thing. I'm so glad ESPN did this because no longer. Every time I want to search, what streaming platform are they playing on again? How to watch Bengals Bucks. And yeah, I got to read a bunch of just jargon, just idiotic stuff before I can get to it. ESPN puts it right at your fingertips.
Perfect for college football. With how many games going on, and you see a hot tip and you put a bet on one of these games, you want to watch you sweat out that game. It's simple. Mac, Mountain West, they'll tell you where to watch the game.
They'll give you that instant access, where to watch on ESPN.com or the ESPN app. Tap in with that. I need to figure out where to watch. Of course, here locally, and then I also have NBA League Pass, but the Heat and the Magic tonight, who tip off things at home. Can I get some NBA music? Do we have any NBA music? There we go. It won't be on TNT like we had last night as the Inside the NBA crew does their victory lap, but it will be on the big screens. The Heat, the Magic at Kaseya Center as they dedicate the court to Pat Riley. The Heat are not losing this game, but more specifically, I want to give you some Prize Picks plays of the day from Heat, Magic, and let's start with Bam Adebayo. Bam, who we know over the Olympics in the summer, added that three-point shot. He's added a new efficient way to score, and you know he's going to want to show it off at home. They've got a player projection in here for Bam, 0.5 three-pointers made. More. In fact, you can play it up and put that demon on it to put it at 1.5 three-pointers made, which means if he hits 2 threes, you win that player projection. I might even do that on mine.
Ka-ching.
Bam is going to definitely drill a couple of threes. And another guy who I expect to see go off tonight for the Miami Heat, Jaime Jaquez Jr. He ain't a rook no more. He got a taste of what the playoffs were like last year, and he won't have a huge role, but he'll get enough minutes to be able to fill this one up specifically. Points plus rebounds plus assist. His player projection is at 13. I'm banging more on Jaime Jaquez Jr. as well. The Heat are going to play very well tonight. Jaime is going to be a part of that as a swingman. He will stuff the stat sheet enough to get more than 13 points, rebounds, or assists. Prize Picks is America's #1 daily fantasy sports app. Over 5 million different people that play, including you, C-Cat. Have you been enjoying it? Have you tipped into NBA yet?
Oh, yeah. I just got let down by Jalen Brunson last night, but hey, I've made withdrawals. I've made a good pocket full of cash out of Prize Picks.
The good thing about Prize Picks is they have a 0.5 more projection on Anthony Edwards with scoring. So that's like a free play square.
Yeah.
You hit that one like I hit it last night, that's going to do well for you as long as Anthony Edwards makes at least a free throw. Outside of that, you can also win real money on this daily fantasy platform and get your withdrawals safe, fast, and secure in as quick as 15 minutes. Prize Picks is the place to go to win some scratch on games in all sports, including basketball. Download Prize Picks today. Use promo code TOD and instantly get $50 when you play a $5 lineup. And again, that $5 lineup, I'm looking at Bam, more on three-pointers made, and Jaime Jaquez Jr., more on points, rebounds, and assists, sitting at 13. Fun day today to watch it back. Go on YouTube at Theo Speaking. That is presented by Prize Pick as well. And you can watch back to Gary Forbes and Evan Cohen, who graced us with their presence. Go in love, go in peace, go in joy. Russo and Rizzo on the other side. Don't get scammed.
Want to accelerate your career as a manager or executive in the exciting industry of sports? Florida Atlantic University's MBA in Sport Management program is ranked #1 in Florida and 10th in the world. Students learn practical and applied skills from top faculty and experts who work in